Welcome back to the Breaker Bros. Tonight we're going to preview and predict the Bengals versus Steelers score. But I guess first, Burrow's back.
Yeah. He's back. Well, sort of, right?
Well, I mean, he's got, I guess now 19 days to return. So, I mean, I don't think they'll. I wouldn't suspect they would start this now if they didn't think he was going to come back. And I don't know.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, just from the little video that I've seen, it looks pretty good. But I mean, it's going to be completely different when you're in a game and you actually have people rushing you. But
yes,
considering he had a grade 3 turf toe and he had surgery, he looks pretty good.
I hope he doesn't come back.
Why?
Season's over, buddy.
Ow. I mean, there were only 2.5 games back. Steelers.
Okay, optimistic Josh is back. So you took the bye week to recuperate and get optimistic again?
Well, I never really thought that they were completely out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that Bears loss was really bad, and then losing to the Jets was bad too. I mean, those are games that they should have won.
Yeah.
I mean, if the defense continues to play like the way they have, I mean, yeah, it's going to be virtually impossible to come back.
To win any game in the playoffs with that defense. No?
Well, anything can happen in the playoffs. I think that's the reason why you would bring Burrow back, is that he kind of gives you that extra juice. I think it's a different animal.
Juice ain't worth the squeeze, my friend, my brother.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've given up on the season, so I'm over it. Like, don't risk Burrow.
I mean, it is kind of his decision too. I mean, if he felt like it was too much of a risk, then I think he would know not to come back. But I mean, if anything, his mobility is not going to be the same. But I mean, in reality, like Flacco, the way he's been playing, there really hasn't been a drop off from like the quarterback perspective. Really just comes down to.
I mean, like, you could think, or let me rephrase that. I could be convinced that the Bengals offense would be slightly better, or better, not just slightly better with Burrow. But I'm not convinced that that is good enough to make the Bengals like a good team. Like, I don't think. I mean, I think it's more like conceptual is the problem, right? Like,
Taylor got to go.
I think the Bengals offense can score points, but I don't think the Bengals offense is constructed in a way to like control games and win games, you know? Like, they can score, but like the entire, I don't want to say the entire, the disappointments that we've experienced as Bengals fans has been because of like 3 and outs and like quarters where they don't score points. It's never been about like, oh, they can't. Well, there have been periods where the offense just simply couldn't score, but beyond that, it's just like there are periods where like there are games where they score sufficient points, but they like just don't show up for half of the game or a quarter of the game, and the defense right now can't carry the water.
Yeah, I think the offense is playing at an elite level. I think, if anything, they score too fast, which puts the defense back on the field.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
right?
I think they're at the point where they can score at any point. It's not like they have to wait a quarter or a half. It's like they are currently scoring rapidly, but like the consistent problem with the Bengals offense, even when they're scoring, is that they don't control the ball enough. Like, they don't control the game. Like, it's like, remember like the BCS when they used to talk about game control?
Like the Bengals don't seem to like take control of a game. They can't. I'm not saying they can't. They don't possess the ball. They don't shorten the game, right? Like they're built to score points as quickly as possible, which isn't necessarily the best way to win football games, especially when your defense is bad. Like if you had a good defense, then yeah, that'd be perfect, right? Because the defense would get a few stops and you keep scoring and then the game's over, right? But when you have a defense that's bad, you need to hold the ball a little bit too.
Yeah, and I guess the way I look at it is, in a perfect world, if they had Hendrickson against the Jets and Bears, I think they win those games.
But they
even with how bad,
didn't.
well, because he wasn't playing.
Right.
So
He's not playing this week either. So what are we going to do?
well, I think they won without him the first game, so it's not inconceivable that they can't win. I think,
according to Aaron Rodgers, the white jerseys were camouflaged on that field. So,
well,
take away the camouflage, and he's just going to be throwing lasers all over the place. So,
well, I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with the Steelers, but they're for Rodgers, he's really starting to show his age now, and it feels like they're starting to dip a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if you're keeping up with the Jets, but they can't score.
Who can't score? The
Jets.
The Jets? You're
Yes.
talking about?
Yeah, the Jets. They can't score. But they put up, 50 points against the Bengals?
Okay, but I mean, they played the first time and won, so I think the main thing is they got to win out the division. I know that's going to be tough to do, but somehow they can go undefeated within the division. They're going to put themselves in a great position to win the division.
Yeah.
It just comes down to winning a few extra games outside of the division, whether it's Bills, Bears, Cardinals.
Yeah, we're diverging here because I declared the Jets game as must win, and I'm sticking to that. And it was a must win because when they lost it, the season ended.
Yeah. I mean, there's 18 games, or was it 17 games in a season? I don't think the season's officially over with after week 6 or 7 or whenever that was. I guess it's week 8.
Yeah, unofficially, officially in my mind, it's over.
Well, that's kind of sad, and I'm glad you're
I'm
not
very sad right now about the season, but yeah.
I hope the people in the locker room where it matters the most have a different mentality, because if they mirrored the majority of Bengals fans, then yes, the season would be over. But I don't think they think like that. I think they're professionals, and they know it's a 17-game season, and it's par for course for the Bengals to go on a run at the end of the season. So I don't.
That is true. They do like to go for a run at the end of the season.
And I think that's what Burrow's looking at. I think, I think the speculation is that he is going to come back for the Thanksgiving game.
Okay, but what if they lose?
Then, well, yeah, it's going to be even harder. But I mean, if
Like,
they win,
say they lose this week, what are they? 3-7 then?
well, say if they win, they're only one game behind the Steelers, and they're 2-0 against.
It's over. Well, no, it's already over. But if they lose, what's the point?
I mean, they could still lose this week and win out and make the playoffs.
Okay. Are you still wanting to go to the Bengals game when you come to town?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go, but it doesn't sound like you want to go.
I'll go. I just hope I don't get shot, but I want to go. Or no, let me phrase that. I want to be a good brother. I don't want to go, but if you go, I need to go.
Well, I'm not going to force you. If you don't want to be there, then I'd rather you just.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to get shot, but
Why
would
you get shot?
either? It's a little dicey in Cincinnati right now, so.
Well, anyways, Bengals versus Steelers. I think they're, with Burrow coming back, I think it does put a little spark in the room. Not to say it's the offensive side that needs help. It's obviously the defense, and I think the only real silver lining is that you would suspect that all the younger players that they're playing should be getting a little bit better as the season goes on. I mean, they've definitely taken their lumps and haven't looked that great, but I think
They
that's
suck. The players on that team suck.
I'm
What?
starting to question if you're a Bengals fan.
Yeah, I'm a Bengals fan. Look,
Well, you seem pretty pessimistic.
yes, I'm a pessimistic Bengals fan. I think that's an accurate description of me right now.
Yeah, it seems kind of emotional. Not gonna lie. It's a professional football team, so I hope they have a desire to get better, and I think they can. Season's not over with. I mean, mathematically, they're still in it.
You know what? I think that you should be a motivational speaker.
I don't think they need it. I think
No, just in general. You're just like you're a very uplifting person. I feel like you like always look at the bright side of things, and I appreciate that.
well, thank you, but yeah, I don't know. I can see why people are upset because there's definitely games that they should have won.
Well, but that's the thing, though. I, in particular, am not upset about it. I'm just like a realist about it. I wouldn't say I'm upset.
Yeah, but the NFL has always been a week-to-week league. You know,
Yeah, but also your record matters a lot.
right? And what are they, 3-6?
Correct.
And I think Steelers are 5-5, I believe.
Can't say for sure.
I want to say like if they win this game, I think they're only a game behind Steelers, and it's not. I think it will go a long ways. Now they definitely need to start snacking wins, which they haven't been able to do throughout the season that much. Maybe they won 2
I
games.
mean, realistically, they can only like if you're doing the math part, right? Like it's gonna be tough for them if they lose 2 more games.
Yeah, I think realistically, if they want to win the division, they have to go 9-8 somehow and sweep the division. I think that's the path to making the playoffs.
Wait, would you call this game a must-win?
It's a very important win.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Must Win, man. I feel like I'm trying to think. Like this year, I've been relatively optimistic, right? Because I didn't declare a must win until the Jets game, right? I think the year before I called the Patriots game a must win.
In week 1?
Yeah. I'm going to claim that. I don't know. But I'm sure there's for sure a way to verify that. But, you know.
Well, I think. Well, I mean, if you look at the Patriots now, they look pretty good. So, I mean, they must have had some pieces in place at that point, but they weren't an overall good team towards the end of the year. But they had quite a turnaround in 1 year. So,
well, Mike Vrabel's a good coach.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. And you know,
he's a good coach.
They pay him a lot of money, and you know,
I mean, like I almost feel like Vrabel's issue in Tennessee was he was such a good coach that he was able to win with Tannehill, and that Tannehill was basically their downfall. You know, like Tannehill is just not good enough to be like a Super Bowl type quarterback.
Well, I think coincidentally, the Bengals kind of ruined their best season. The year that they probably should have done something, the Bengals came in and beat them.
But why? I think Tannehill had like 3 picks in that game, right? 3 or 4?
He may have had, it might have been 3. I think it was either 2 or 3, but they also sacked Burrow 9 times. So it was like, it was a really crazy game.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of where the Bengals are this year too. I think they defensive wise, they kind of have to rely on turnovers, and I think that's
Well, let's talk about this game. It's been a while. We're catching up, but I feel like you need to walk me through the prediction. because I've already been outed as a pessimist. So let's look at the high level stuff. Trying to call it up here. It's not working. Need to fill. Come on, PFF. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, see, the Steelers are 5-4. So if the Bengals win, then yeah, they're only one game back.
Okay, here's the overall team metrics according to PFF. So seems off. They have the Bengals offense power ranked as 24th.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That can't be right.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Unless somehow the Bengals played every other team in the league already, and that's why all the other teams have scored a lot. But outside of that, I don't understand how they're 24th, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the past 3 weeks they've scored 31, 38, 42.
Yeah, I feel like they've
Or
been.
no, 33, 38, 42.
Yeah, there's a couple of tough losses. I think that Jake Browning kind of dipped the rating a little bit. So I mean,
Yeah.
but like I said, with Flacco, they look like an elite offense. It looks like what you thought it would be with Burrow at this point of the year. So but I mean, it's also the Steelers. I know they're going to bring a lot of pressure. I don't think it's going to look too similar to the first game, to where it felt like the Bengals offense was pretty dominant. I suspect they're going to bring a lot of pressure and try to get Flacco off his mark. But I mean, I think the reason why Flacco has been so good is that, like Burrow, he's able to dissect the defense really quickly, make his reads, get the ball out quick to avoid some of that pressure. But I want to say the Steelers have been one of the better teams in terms of bringing pressure. So it's going to be at the Steelers. So I would think they would have. I think they were going to have a little bit more success at getting home than they had in the first game. But I also feel like the Steelers secondary has been giving up a lot of yards. So for the defense, I think again it goes back to just the basics, just getting sure tackles. And one of the things I would like them to see is just go for the tackle and stop trying to strip the ball. Like, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, because it seems like I could appreciate them trying to get the turnover, but a lot of times when they're trying to rip the ball out, whoever they're trying to tackle gets another 5 or 6 yards, and it's just like, just get them down. Like, start with the tackle first.
Yeah.
Like that, and then start going for the ball. Then hopefully they can get turnovers, whether it's interceptions, and I mean, obviously if you can get fumbles as well. But I don't know. I think part of the problem is they're relying on a lot of younger players, and they're going to make a lot of mistakes. And I mean, that's what we've seen throughout the year. But hopefully the bye week was good for them, and they're able to do the additional things that they should have done. Because I want to say the first and second year players had some practices during the bye week, I guess, to kind of get them back on track. But
I mean, but do you think Al Golden's a good defensive coordinator?
Not right now, no. But I was hoping he would get fired, just to kind of send a message.
You're hoping for him to get fired?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be some accountability from somewhere. But I guess from what I saw, it seemed like a lot of the heat was going towards Duke Tobin. It seems like there was some rumblings about him potentially getting fired, which would have been a shock to me. So I guess if there's any truth to that, then maybe the Bengals organization sees that maybe the Bengals aren't picking the right players for their system type thing. But I think also, if you want to give a little grace to Al Golden, I mean, this is his first year there, and he doesn't really have all of the players that he would have necessarily wanted to add to the defense. But there are a lot of his players that are playing right now. So specifically the linebackers, where they're having a lot of issues. But I see the potential. It's like you watch their highlights in college, and the linebackers that they picked had a lot of production. And
yeah, according to PFF, Knight is the 83rd ranked linebacker out of 83 linebackers, and Carter is the 79th ranked linebacker out of 83 linebackers.
Yeah, according to PFF.
So,
but
according to PFF, linebacker is a weakness.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not watching as much film as PFF, but then I also question all of their grading.
Yeah,
because I know on Rivers, he doesn't get really good grades, but then when you watch his film, it doesn't look that bad either. So
yeah. Well, let me confirm what you just said. So Rivers, they have ranked as the 78th out of 79 guards. So
yeah. So I mean,
low.
Well, yeah, but yeah, when you watch the film, it doesn't really seem that bad. So I don't know. And it seems like in general the pass protection has been better throughout the year. So that's also promising, especially if Burrow does come back within the next couple of weeks.
Right. I mean, that's kind of like our own internal argument, is that like I've been like very I guess critical of the Bengals draft choices when it comes to guards, right? And I guess Dylan Fairchild's getting a lot of praise for his play of late. So I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's awesome.
Who, Rivers or Fairchild?
Fairchild. I don't have a problem with drafting Rivers. I mean, he's a good depth piece. I'm with you. Like, I don't see him as being like terrible. I mean, he seems better than what the Bengals have played in the past at guard. So, I mean, if he's truly like the worst guard in the NFL, then I guess guards have gotten a lot better. But, what do I know?
Well, I think a lot of the things that the Bengals are experiencing in terms of offensive line protection, it's been pretty consistent around the league. I just think the NFL's in a place where the defensive line tends to trump most offensive lines. So I don't know. It's like the games that I watch outside of the Bengals, it seems like they have a lot of the same issues as the Bengals. And so it's not, I just think there's just way more talent on defensive lines than there are on offensive lines.
Except for the Bengals defensive line.
Yeah. That's the pressure that's definitely been the problem. I'm still trying to figure out why they don't blitz as they don't really blitz at all.
That, but like that play that gave up the touchdown against the Bears, they blitzed.
Which one?
The one that ended the game. The Colson.
Oh, you mean where like three people missed a tackle?
Yeah, but they also blitzed on that play. Right.
But I think part of the problem is like I want linebackers to blitz is pretty much what I'm getting at.
It was a corner blitz. I think it was a corner blitz.
I think, well, yeah, I guess it would have. Well, I know both safeties were in the play, but normally when I do see them blitz, it's like Battle or one of the other safeties. I'm thinking, come on, get a linebacker in there. Like,
well, I mean, if you're going to be blitzing secondary, why didn't they keep our guy
Hilton?
Yeah,
Mr. Samir,
because he's getting older. Maybe he has lost a step a little bit.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, he lost a step, but he was good at the thing that they want to do.
Yeah, I think the problem too is like all offseason, it seemed like a lot of Bengals fans were criticizing the Bengals for not playing their young players and taking too much time to try to develop them. And that's what they try to do this year. It's like they try to get young people on the field, but I think the problem with that is that they have too many young people trying to play at once, or inexperienced guys. But that's why I feel like throughout the year they should be showing some progress, and I'm hoping maybe this can be the turning point, and hopefully coming out of the bye they can just look at it at, this is going to be a new season, start a run and stack a few wins, because the Steelers still have a pretty tough schedule the rest of the year. Really, it's going to come down to
the Bengals have a tough schedule the rest of the year. They play the Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns.
Seem like all beatable teams to me. I mean,
The Patriots.
Well, yeah, I think the
Patriots.
Bills. Yeah, the Bills don't look that tough. No.
The Ravens with Lamar Jackson.
Even the Ravens with Lamar Jackson started at 1-3, so I don't. In the games that they've won, I don't want to like take away from them. But they beat Miami and who else? So it's like,
yeah, well, we play Miami too. Miami's not bad.
they haven't looked that good, but
but okay. Let me see if I can phrase it the right way. Miami's offense can score points against good defenses. What are they going to do against the Bengals defense?
I don't know.
The Bills offense can score points against good defenses. What are they going to do against the Bengals defense? You got Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he schooled the Bengals last year. He's ready to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the course of the year and that's what you're judging off of, then yeah, it's not going to look good. But there has to be some belief that the Bengals defense can turn it around, and they should be getting better as the year goes on. Like I said, I feel like, and I know Hendrickson's not going to play this week, but looking throughout the rest of the year, if they can start stacking wins and get a fully healthy Hendrickson back, I think that will go a long ways. Because Hendrickson can close out a game, and I feel like if you had a fully healthy Hendrickson against the Bears and the Jets, then he would have closed it out. Because at the end of the Bears game where they had to pass, I think he would have got home, and I think he would have got the sack, and I think he would have closed out the game. But they don't have that right now because he's coming back. But they got to find a way to win without him.
Right.
And
so what's going to happen this week?
Well, this week it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be an ugly game. I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of turnovers one way or another, and I feel like whoever has the ball last is going to win.
Okay. So what's your prediction for score?
I'm going to go 27-24 Bengals.
All right. Wait, I gotta find the growl. Do we have the growl in here? Okay. I'm going to go with Steelers are going to win, and I think it's going to be 43-31 Steelers. I feel like their last game, the Bengals got 2 turnovers that took away points. I feel like Flacco's still going to be able to score, but I think that the Steelers are going to clean it up. I see a high-scoring game with very few turnovers.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's going to be as explosive as the first game, or at least I hope not. I hope the Bengals can focus on tackling and try not to give up the big plays based off of missed tackles and or missed assignments or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's a divisional game, so I think it's going to add more, I guess, emotion to the game. But I also think that's the path to getting to the playoffs. is just winning the division games. Because
I don't think you can qualify it as division games anymore. It's like they need to win. They cannot lose.
well, they don't have to go undefeated to make the playoffs. Like that's not. Now they have to win the majority of the games that they have left for sure.
No. They have to win nearly all the games they have left.
They can still lose 2 games. I feel like they can go 9-8 and still win the division.
Right. As long as they don't lose in the division.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't say that this is a must win, but it's a very important win.
Okay.
Because if you can win out the division, which is a tough task, but it's also a very weak year for the division as a whole. I don't think any team looks extremely dominant, and it looks like the Steelers are starting to skid a little bit. But on the same token, it looks like the Ravens are starting to come back. So, but the Bengals still have to play the Ravens twice, Steelers one more time, and the Browns one more time. And you win those, that's 4 games, and it's a matter of like winning 2 other games that are non-divisional. I think winning against the Bills is going to be pretty crucial, and I think a win against the Patriots would go a long way. I think the Patriots probably match up against the Bengals really well in what they do because they can control the clock with the running game, and Drake May looks good. But in terms of the Steelers, I know it seems, especially at this point, with Hendrickson out and I saw Shamar Stewart out, which I know it's probably not going to change that much because he hasn't really shown what he can do. I don't know. It seemed like early on the year when it started out, he was playing pretty good, but then he got hurt, and then he missed several weeks, and it seemed like he was coming back from an injury. Then he got
I feel like if guys miss training camp, they tend to get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I think he initially had an ankle injury, which I don't think that's something that you get missing training camp. I think that was
just my theory.
But I don't think he missed most of training camp. I think he may have missed like a few days.
He missed almost all of training camp.
I think you're thinking of Hendrickson.
No, Shamar Stewart held out. Remember, they're arguing over like offset language for like getting in trouble.
But no, he missed like 2 or 3 days of training camp.
I think he missed more than that.
Look it up.
Okay, hold on.
I think you're thinking of Hendrickson.
Well, I know Hendrickson missed training camp. But just because, let's see here. Okay, here you go. He ended his holdout. There you go.
I want to say he missed 2 or 3 days of training camp, and then he got back in. Yeah, he missed the first 3 practices of training camp.
Okay, I guess it was July 25th. Where you see that?
I just did a Google or a search. I said, how many days of training camp did Shamar Stewart miss?
Well, those 3 days were critical to him preserving his physical capabilities. Then, those 3 days, if he wouldn't have missed those 3 days, he wouldn't have got hurt. Book it.
Yeah, he missed all of off-season workouts and stuff, but he only missed the first 3 practices of training camp. So he
Only reason he got hurt.
I don't think you contribute an ankle injury to that. That's just if it's
Ankles
like
are,
a
I mean,
soft tissue
I'm pretty sure
injury,
the
then
first
yes.
3 practices of the NFL are like ankles. I think like practice 1's ankles, and then 2 is like calves and ankles, and then practice 3 is like lower body in general.
Sounds scientific. But no,
Quite
ankle
very
injuries
scientific.
usually because you step on someone or maybe you plant your foot wrong, but it has nothing to do with conditioning is what I'm getting at. Usually it's the soft tissue like hamstring issues or maybe a strained calf. Like that probably would contribute to not having enough time in training camp and getting your body ready for the NFL season. Like that would make more sense, but I think an ankle injury is a little bit different.
All right, you win on that point. I concede.
But yeah, I mean,
Wasn't the one thing I will say, I wasn't thinking of Trey Hendrickson because I knew he missed all of training camp, but I thought Shamar Stewart missed more of training camp because that's all they talked about for a long period of time.
Yeah, it was weird because, you know, I think at first people were on Shamar's side and then they heard what the scuffle was about and then they kind of went on to the Bengals side, and I think there was a lot of pressure for him to sign. But the more I learned about the situation, I don't blame him, or at least his agent, trying to do what they did, because according to apparently
Sources?
well, no, it was his agent, and I think it was confirmed that Amarius Mims, like he didn't have to sign some of that same language, and the Bengals were trying to get on par with a lot of the other teams in the league that have that.
I never blame the players. Always blame the Bengals.
Well, I think it's just this is like the business side of the NFL. It's like I can respect the agent looking out for their players to help set that precedent, but at the same time, I can also see the Bengals point of view. It's like, well, if you're going to be incarcerated or if you're going to have off-field issues, that should void some of the guarantees because, you know, you're not really reliable. So I get that.
I mean, do you need offset language if someone gets arrested? Or, I'm sorry, put in jail. I bet you if there are allegations, I could see where you need the language, but I would assume that if you're like actually in jail, like they probably don't have to pay you.
Yeah, I think that was my understanding. Maybe I'm off a little bit, but I think with the language in there, it makes it definite to whereas if you don't have it in there, then it's more of like a case by case situation. And
yeah, but I mean, I think it's more like for like allegations and not so much for like actual convictions.
I think the way, like again, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
But ultimately, the way they resolved it is they just moved around money. So it's like, why didn't they just do that sooner?
It really wasn't that much of a give. I think it was like a difference of like a couple $100,000 up front, and for whatever reason, that was enough to get him to come in. I think it was just a small concession, just to be like, hey, come on, let's get on the field. And
yeah, but why didn't they just do that sooner?
Because I think from Shamar's side, I think they were asking for more.
Yeah, just move the money around. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, it's just like if you want your language, then just move the money around, right? Like, because he's worried about guaranteed money, not getting it because of this clause. So then just like, oh, well, we insist on our clause, but we understand that you care about this money thing, so we'll just move more money on your side, right?
Yeah,
it's about the one-off chance that the thing that probably is not going to happen actually happens. So really, they're just trying to establish a policy. So just move money around. You know?
Yeah, I think the Bengals have always been pretty stubborn.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you draft a guy like Shamar, right? You know that he's a bit like needs some development, right? So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, when are you going to pick to make your stand kind of thing? It's just like, I don't know. It's
Well,
just
I
like,
think the Bengals' problem is
like, if there's any guy on the roster that needed as much work as possible, that was the guy, right?
well, him or even Knight Jr. I think.
Right. Yeah, Knight. I could see that too, right? Like, you can't have like you can't like draft guys and expect them to immediately contribute and then like have them sit out and miss practices. I mean, Knight missed some off OTAs too, right? I think like the entire second round missed like time, except for that guy that the Browns have that got that guarantee, because the Browns drafted like that linebacker at the top, and they guaranteed his whole contract, and it made like the entire second round a pain for every other NFL team.
No, I think he played, or I think he was practicing without his contract signed, because I think because there was something, because that was the whole thing with Shamar Stewart, was from his agent's perspective, was he didn't want to sign there was like another agreement you can sign. It's like an injury clause type thing, to where if you don't have a contract signed, you're still, I guess, guaranteed certain amount of money or whatever, because you're practicing without a contract. But if you sign that, then it waives your right to potentially go back to college. Because I think that was one of the leveraging pieces that they were trying to say, like, hey, if we're not going to get our way, then, there is a possibility he can go back to college. But in reality, that was never going to happen, because you're not going to give up $18 million that's like right in front of you. And if you go back to college in that fashion, like, the NFL is going to, you're not going to get drafted in the first round the next year. It's not going to happen. They're not going to set that precedent. They're not going to allow players to have that type of leverage. So you would be giving up a first round pick and potentially going to like a day 3 pick because of going back to college, regardless of what kind of production he was going to have. Nonetheless, it's over with, and hopefully these young players can turn the page, and you can start to see some of the reasons why they drafted certain players. Because
I'd like for someone to make a play, because I disagree with the notion that the problem with the Bengals defense is that the young guys are making mistakes. I think the problem with the Bengals defense is the young guys stop making plays. Like, the games that they won, the guys were still making mistakes, but they were also making plays. And like, in these losses, like, nobody's doing anything.
Well, I mean, if you look at Battle, Stewart, Knight, I can't think of the other linebacker that we drafted. Some of the other defensive linemen that they're rotating in, they're players that have either 1 year or less of actual experience. And that, to me, is the overall issues, that you're relying on too many young players that don't have that experience as some of the veterans.
Yeah, but the Bengals aren't asking the defense to like hold opponents under 20 points. They're asking the defense to hold opponents under like 30 points, right? So it's like, to tell like a rookie, like, hey, come in, don't make a mistake, right? I just don't buy into that. Like, I don't think that's a reasonable expectation. To me, it's like, hey, play hard, make a play. If you make a mistake, move on, right? Because like, guys that don't have the experience can't play mistake free, right? So it's just like, if you make a mistake, move on fast and try to make a play, right?
Well, in general,
but also just tackle the guy. I mean,
that's what I've been saying.
I mean, it's just like, hey, make mental mistakes. You make mistakes, but like, when you do get in position and you hit a guy, don't try to like decleat him. Just wrap up, right? Don't let go. Like, bring him down. Like, what I mean? Stop trying to like make a highlight play and just bring the guy to the ground. Or if you can't tackle them, at least slow them down so you can get some help defense, right? It's just like very, very basic. Like they need to get back to the basics, right? It's like the guys aren't playing well enough to think about making highlight plays. They need to get back to like, hey, you're not good enough to bring them down all by yourself. You're not going to hit these guys and like have them fumble the ball because you hit them so hard. It's just like, how about just wrap them up?
Yeah, and really what I'm getting at is like if you even any pick that's high or whenever they get picked, are we still there? Looks like you froze. Hello? Well, anyways. Hello? But yeah, I mean, if you just look at across the league, regardless of where a rookie is picked, in general, rookies take like their first year is always kind of slow. And that's kind of my overall point is that you have a lot of these younger players that are going to be missing assignments, not being in the right position, not tackling well. And I feel like it's too much to rely on all these young players to make all these plays at once. It's going to take like almost a full year for them to figure everything out together. But at some point, they got to start seeing some of these results. Can't tell if it's my internet or your internet. Hold on, don't think it's my internet.